Okay, the eccentric leg raise. So eccentric just means contractions while the muscle tissue is lengthening. So basically we're going to be only doing the way down in the leg raise. Now there's a few different ways that you can do a leg raise. You can either do it with knees, you can do it one leg at a time. I reckon, again, just play it to how you feel. Always make sure that your core is primed when you are doing it. When you're doing an eccentric leg raise, the key thing is keeping that lower back pinned against the ground, making sure that the pelvis isn't going to arch and you're not loading up through your lower back. So those are the key points. We'll get down on the ground and we'll try a couple of different variations. The one that I want you to work up to is straight legs and all the way down with no other assistance apart from your hands underneath your bum. So hands underneath the bum like this. Now we're just going to do the way down. So legs at 90 degrees from the hips, keeping your lower back pinned against the ground, and then you're going to slowly come down. And again, my pelvis isn't arching, my pelvis isn't rotating or anything like that. It's staying neutral the whole time. Now over time you're going to actually find that you'll progress quite quick. This will seem pretty easy just doing the way down, but you'll be surprised, like maybe 10 reps in or so, you'll find that it actually starts to burn a little bit. If you can do 10 reps, no problems, then that's when I want you to start to do both phases, so the concentric and the eccentric. Now if you can't, that's okay, then just kick your legs up, just like that, and then just focus on the way down. That one's the most important. Okay, the mountain climber. So with our mountain climber, we want to be trying to engage our core the whole time. So our positioning, we're pretty much in a straight arm plank position, but we want to be driving our knees, alternating right up to the shoulders, trying to get them high to the chest as we can. So there'll be a couple of variations that you can do this. The one on the ground is a little bit more advanced. If you're wanting to try something that's a little bit easier, then just grabbing like a ledge or something that you can brace yourself up on that's like more of an incline, then that's just as good as well. But definitely try push yourself and try and get those knees high and try really pump them out. So we're going to get down on the ground. Again, whenever we're bearing on our wrists, we want to be trying to add as much tension through the muscles around it. So really grip the ground, try and get a solid grip through like your wrists, your forearms, and also your arms too. So drive the elbows out, wrap the triceps, squeeze and grip the ground hard, and then we're going to bring one leg up, drive it back. One leg up. Now this, we can speed this up however fast that we like. Try go as fast as you can. Now, what I'm not doing is having my bum up high and doing this. Try keep in that straight arm plank position. Knees high, keep wrapping those triceps, gripping the ground, tightening up your core. Alright, the one arm slide out. So with our one arm slide out, we want to make sure that our weight is centered the whole time. So as one arm comes out, our weight's going to shift over naturally to that side, and we're going to feel like that we need to dip through our shoulders or dip through our hips to compensate for the lack of stability through that side. Now we're going to really have to make sure that our weight is centered through your hips by clenching your butt cheeks and bracing that core as well. I'll show you what I mean. All right. So we're going to get down on the ground for this one. I reckon start off with your knees, even for me right now, doing like these at the end of my ab workout when I'm super tired, doing them on the knees is actually really challenging. So start out with the knees and then we'll work up from there. We're going to have our elbows straight underneath our shoulders. Now again, because we are weight bearing, we want to be adding tension through the muscles that surround those joints. So make sure that we're not collapsing through our shoulders and shrugging. We want to be trying to push away and drive our elbows through the floor. So wrap the triceps, keep the elbows out, and then we're going to squeeze our glutes, slide out with one side as far as we can, and then drive through this arm, through the floor, and push back in. Now the whole time, again, my weight isn't shifting to one side, I'm still keeping it centered. So remember with this one, clench your butt cheeks. Otherwise then that pelvis is just going to arch and it's going to shift from side to side too much. So clench them in, making sure that your core is braced and you're trying to keep centered the whole time. So obviously as well, as I slide out, naturally I'm going to be having to shift my height. So I kind of try guide my body down with this arm by kind of doing almost like an elbow press up. So coming down and then pressing through the floor. Okay, as we all know, that core is literally the epicenter of your whole body. If you have a weak core, you're going to have a weak squat, you're going to have a weak push-up. It is integrated into pretty much every movement that we do. So it is super important to make sure that these muscles through your abdominals, they are getting worked, they are getting trained, they are getting tested with stability and also strength. So this is a fantastic exercise to knock out both of those. It's called the shoulder touch. So we're going to come back, we're going to go into a straight arm plank position. So from this position, if you want, starting out with your knees, that's fine as well. For some people, even going a little bit wider through the feet can be a little bit easier. Now I'm going to wrap the triceps and I'm going to shift one arm up, touch the opposite shoulder, and then come back in and prime those muscles again. Touch, back in, prime, and again. Now I'm also trying to clench my butt cheeks. That way I'm locking in my pelvis. I'm making sure that my hips aren't shifting over and my weight's not shifting over too much to one side. Now that's the trick as well. We want to make sure that we're trying to stabilize our body from tipping over rather than balancing our weight on top. So I find making sure that my head isn't moving. So I kind of look at one spot in the floor and trying to keep my head in line with that the whole time.